Hi everyone, welcome to the Student Stories series of talks. We're now just going to talk with our student ambassadors a little bit about will I fit in, or any anxieties you might have about that. So welcome back, guys. Thanks for chatting to us today. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about sort of fitting in at university and making friends and those sorts of things. Because I know sometimes people have like a preconceived notion of university, don't they? They think, it's some kind of institution where things happen, but the actual day-to-day realities of living and working as a student can sometimes be quite different. So Jenny, maybe could I start with you? So did you have any anxieties about when you applied? Did you sort of know what to expect? Were you a bit worried about whether or not you'd fit in or meet friends?
I think, yeah, I definitely had my worries, especially about making friends. I was so worried, like, what if I don't meet like-minded people? What if I just don't happen to get on with anyone? But actually, the best piece of advice that I was given is that nobody goes to university not wanting to make friends. Like, no one goes to university thinking, like, I don't want to meet anyone, I don't want anything to do with anyone. Everybody's out there looking for people. And another thing that I was quite worried about, I'm a Christian, so I thought, how am I going to fit in with that sort of typical university culture that maybe doesn't necessarily assimilate with the way I live my life? But actually, I've joined a Christian union, managed to get involved with the church, and that's also been like a really great way to make friends in the area who think like me.
Brilliant. No, thanks, Jenny. I think that's really important, isn't it? If you've got shared interests or whatever, there's always going to be other people with similar or the same interests as you. So that's a really good point. Especially at the University of Brighton, we have nearly 20,000 students. So within that student body, you're going to find people who you can relate and be friends with. Thanks, Jenny. Gemma, how about you? What was your experience of coming to uni and how it's panned out with being here?
Yeah, I was nervous too because when I told my friends I'm going to study maths, they were like, oh, like, I guess there's quite a stereotype of mathematicians not being very good at socializing. So that kind of got me a bit anxious. But so our first week, it was like an introduction week at uni, and they just gave us like little tasks to do in different groups and like kind of games that made us go around the uni. So we got used to the campus, and also I got to mix with different groups of people. And yeah, it wasn't like Jenny said, everyone wants to make friends. People are talkative. They want to make friends. And it was just easy because people say, oh, are you going to this society? Do you want to try this? Everyone wants to kind of turn up to societies together. So even if you don't know each other that well, you go together and make more friends. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. And Gemma, are you a member of any like clubs or societies, or even like out of uni, do you have any kind of other interests that allowed you to settle in?
Quite a few. I've tried a lot. I'm in volleyball at the moment, the university's Royal Naval Unit. Other sports one like football, netball. I'm in a lot of stuff. But yeah, with the I can't quite remember the name now. The open day with all the societies. What's that called?
The Freshers Fair.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just went there. Oh, I'm just going on now. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Gemma. No, it's fine. It's really nice to sort of hear your experiences. I think the overarching message, isn't it, is that there's activities to do, even if it's outside of your course, that you can get involved with. So that's great, Gemma. Amy, do you want to add, what were you thinking? What was your vision of university before you arrived here? Like, I know you came to the summer school you mentioned before, but perhaps before that, what do you think university was all going to be about?
Yeah, I did think it was going to be a lot of drinking, but more to do with my course. I did expect it to be, because obviously college there was only like 3 or 4 girls out of the whole course, so I didn't want to go for another 3 years. Boys are great, but a whole course of them sometimes gets a bit too much. Yeah. But of course it's quite mixed, which I was quite surprised about, because I think it makes a nice balance. And
that's a really good point actually as well, because the course is so varied. You get loads of different types of people on courses, don't you? Like, I know we've got quite a few international students and mature students on a lot of our courses. So there's that really nice varied mix of people who you're going to kind of meet in the first in your first year. And Amy, just to finish, I imagine you probably are in some sort of societies if you're doing sport and exercise science, but what do you do outside of your lectures?
So it's been a bit different this year, obviously because of the pandemic. But at the start, that I did trial with the women's football team in Eastbourne, and I know there's different ones. So like there's a few teams in Brighton and there's a few teams in Eastbourne. But if you look at the Sport Brighton website, there's a great big list of all the teams. But if you don't want to play so competitively, if you want to try something new, there's also something called Park Life. So you just turn up and play. Usually it's a couple of pound a session, and you can just try something new. So yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, great. And I think that's the case with a lot of universities. They have like such a big selection of like sporting activities, but not just sporting, like other activities that you can get along enjoying with too. So that's great. Thanks very much for your insight, guys. That's been really helpful. And I think, the message there is, will I fit in? I think the answer is probably definitely yes, isn't it, from what you guys have said. So thanks a lot for your insight, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.